Hello guys, in this video I'll be discussing about a catching mechanism that I have implemented in Spring Boot project. I have already created the project, so I will guide step by step process that how can we implement the catching. So if you want to successfully implement catching mechanism in your project, watch the video till end. So now let me start with the explanations. This is a Gradle project. So first of all, you need to add the dependency for the catching mechanism is ES catch dependency. So this is the dependency you need to add it, and one is this Spring Boot starter catch. So these are the two dependency that you need to add in your Gradle file. If this is a Maven project, then you need to add the dependency in pom.xml file. So as per your project, you need to add the dependency. Next, you need to enable the catching in your main application. So here you can see that I am enabling the catching. So you need to add the annotation for enabling the catching, enable catch. And after that, you need to configure your project to implement the catching. This is the catching config class where you need to create the bean for the catch manager, and you need to provide the details about your catch. So here you can see that I am creating a bean for catch configuration, and then I am setting the value for the catch, like this is the name of the catch. Then I am setting the policy that I am using is LRU. Then here is the entry local heap size, then internal you need to set it, and this is the internal set time to leave, like how much time you need to stay your data in the catch. So as per your requirement you can configure here. This is what I have configured for the demo purpose. After that you need to add that object of the catch configuration to the config, like here configuration class, and then you need to return the bean for the catch manager. So this is all about the configure in your project. After that, how can we implement the catching in our project? So this is all about the configuration. Now let's move to the our project requirement. So for the demo purpose, I have just created a organization. You can see that where we have organization name and email, and I will be using ES catch for this. So I have created a organization class. You can see that this is the entity class, so you can store the data as well in the database. And next I will take you to the controller class, where we have two APIs. One is for adding the organization and updating, another one is for to get the organization details. So I will show you that how can we add the organization data, and then how can we get the data using the catching. So this is the, let me explain the APIs first, then I will give you the demo for this. So this is the post call for adding the organization. You can see that I have written a post call here, add organization, and then here I am passing the organization object, and then I'm creating another. Here you can see that I have the add organization, and I'm saving the data into the database. So I have only one API to update and save the data. So this is the part when we add a new organization, and this will run when we have the existing organization. So basically this is the updating part, and this is the adding part. So here you can see that I have used catching mechanism. Like you have to use the annotation based catching mechanism. Like Spring provides a very basic annotation based catching mechanism. It's not complex, it's very easy to use. So you have to just add these two lines, like I'm adding catching, then evict, then catch evict, and I'm passing the name of the catch, and I'm passing all entries true, and another is for updating the catch. So here you need to pass the @catch put annotation, then this is same as name of the catch, and here I am passing as a key is one of the value of the organization object. Then I am saving it. That's it to add the catch while adding the organization. Other APIs which is to get the organization detail is simple. Just you need to pass the organization ID for which you want to fetch the data, and I will show you here that how can we implement caching here. So this is very simple also, as I told earlier also that we are using annotation based. So you just need to add @catchable and the name of the catch and then the key. So that's it. So this is all about implementation of the catch. And other than this, I will show you, like, I have that repository class where is required to save the data in the database. And now I'll run the project. I'll give you the demo that whether the caching is working or not. So it will take couple of seconds to start the project. Let the project start. So yeah, the project got started. You can see that Tomcat is started on port 8081. So now let's go to the Postman. Here you can see that I'm passing the organization name and organization email. So let's add the data. So here you can see that data got added successfully and the ID of the organization is 11. Next you see fetch the data. Let's call the API. ID of the organization is 11, and you can see that it for the first time it will call the database and return the value. So here you can see the time for the API to fetch the data from the database is 143 milliseconds. And one more thing, I have shown the logs also. So here you can see that it is printing that calling from the database. So for the next time when you call the get API, it shouldn't call the database, and the time for which response should come will be very less. So let's call it again. So now you can see that the time taken by the API is 38 millisecond. If you call it again, see, it's now you can see that it's 16 milliseconds. So it is much faster than the first one, because the first one was calling database and fetching the data from the database. Then after that the value is stored in the cache, and next time you fetch the data, it's just going to the cache and returning the value. Because of that it is faster. And you can see that here it is printed only for once, because for the first time only it came from the cache. So you can see that it is faster. And I will show you once more thing, like when we update, let's update this. Now I'll make the email as 123. So it's updated. Now you see that when you call it, the value will also be updated, and the time is very less, like 15 seconds. So when you update the information about organization, it also update in the cache. So here the caching is working as expected. So this is how we implement the caching mechanism in our Spring Boot project. So this is all about the project and the videos. Caching is working fine. So if you like my videos, then please subscribe my channel and give a thumbs up to the videos. And if you have any questions, or if you want any other videos I should make, then please comment in the comment box. That's it for the video. Thank you guys.